Questions over Islamophobia in the Conservative Party run wide and deep and right to the very top. Boris Johnson himself once under investigation over his comments about Muslim women, an issue I put to him during his leadership campaign in 2019. You brought shame on your party when you described veiled Muslim women as letterboxes and bank robbers.
Well, Beth, I'm delighted that many of my former colleagues seem to dissent from that view.
But for all those jeers, today an independent inquiry found the party does have a problem and the PM himself is partly to blame. The 50-page report found there is evidence of anti-Muslim sentiment at local association and individual levels. High-profile incidents such as remarks made during Lord Goldsmith's mayoral campaign and PM Boris Johnson's comments on Muslim women give the impression to many that the party and its leadership are insensitive to Muslim communities. But for this former party chair, the report falls short. You still think that the Conservative Party is institutionally racist despite the findings in this report?
The report concludes that from the top, from the Prime Minister at one level to local associations at the bottom, there is an attitude issue and a problem and a behaviour issue in terms of Islamophobia. And Beth, you know, the way I see it, if it looks like institutional racism, feels like institutional racism, fits the definition of institutional racism, then I'm afraid it is institutional racism.
Is Boris Johnson part of the problem here?
I think Boris accepts that he is part of the problem and that he got it wrong in the past. And as he says himself, that words that he used and thought he could get away with a journalist are not the words that would suit a prime minister. Beth, this has been a 6-year campaign. It's been a lonely campaign. It's been a hurtful campaign. It's been difficult to challenge friends and colleagues. And certainly I will be referring the party to the Equalities and Human Rights Commission, and I will ask it to investigate what I see are fundamental flaws in this report.
The current co-party chair with an apology and promise of reform.
The Prime Minister has been clear that, you know, in the interview which he did with Professor Singh, to say that, you know, he was sorry if he had caused any offence to anyone through his comments. As a party, we have a zero tolerance approach to all forms of discrimination. This report does make for uncomfortable reading, and we've got work to do.
Remarks Mr Johnson made before he was the resident here have hurt the Muslim community and damaged his party. The issue of Islamophobia goes right to his door, and for many in the Muslim community, this matter is still not closed. Beth Rigby, Sky News, Westminster.